welcome to another edition of the Chris Gunther Show. Thank you so much for your love and support. Be sure to like, share, and tag somebody in this video. Anybody that's from this area knows this man who I'm sitting next to, one of the coldest hoopers to ever come out of the yo, ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Randall. What's going on with you, bro?
What's going on, bro?
First of all, thank you, man, for taking this time out with me. Welcome home, too.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. Glad to be here. It's always good to come back home, you know.
Oh, yeah, man. And like we was just talking off camera, in this gym in particular here at Calvary, so many great times.
Yeah.
So many great memories. I remember growing up watching people such as yourself get buckets in this gym, man.
Yeah, man. It was always good coming down here. It was always competitive. I came down here when I was younger, so we would be playing against like Rick Baldwin, Jamie Carpenter, Chevis, Aaron Coward. So playing against all those guys as a kid did wonders for me growing up, just being able to play against that competition at such a young age. So we definitely had some battles down here, man. So it's definitely fun. Brings back a lot of memories being here.
Man, I remember when me and Craig were younger and we would, try and follow you guys to like play because we were so young we couldn't, do it yet.
Yep.
But every now and then y'all would let us catch some rec and, actually allow us to see, this ain't gonna be easy growing up.
Yeah, that's how you learn though, man. You got to throw them out there into the fire a little bit and let them play against better competition just to see where they want to get to. So hopefully that helped y'all out just as much as it helped us out playing against older guys.
It did, man. And you always played up. You never played in your age bracket just because you're skill based and you're talent based. But take me back, man. When did it all start for you?
When I was about 4 years old is when I picked up a basketball.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I knew personally that that's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been basketball for me. I played baseball growing up for a little bit with Carrington, but
and most people don't even know that.
Yeah, well, it didn't last long. So I played that for a little bit, probably till I was up to 11 or 12, and then after that, it was just straight basketball. Never played football, never played any other sport. Basketball's been it, and I made a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah.
Coming up through this game and not being able to do certain things that some of my friends were able to do.
Right.
But it's all paid off. A lot of people actually just got into a little debate over Twitter the other day about a lot of people think that me and my brothers had a lot of stuff handed to us.
And that is the furthest thing from the truth.
It's the furthest thing from the truth. We were very blessed and fortunate to grow up with some of the things that a lot of kids in the inner city don't have.
Yeah.
Like both parents and come from a supportive home and background and stuff like that. And, have a good supporting cast around you. But besides that, everything that we did is a result of the work that we put in. We had to sacrifice, like I said. We couldn't go out on weekends and kick it with our friends.
Yeah.
We were in the gym or traveling to AU tournament. Like, that's a sacrifice as a kid growing up. You don't get to be a part of all the memories that your friends had because you're dedicating your time to a sport that you really feel like you want to chase after. So I have no regrets about it at all. So it's definitely been a joyride, that's for sure.
Sacrificing is something that you have to do in order if you want to be great. And I remember those times where you all wanted to either go to a party, go to a football game on a Friday night, but because of the work ethic that you all had been instilled with, you weren't able to do that. But to see what's come out of it is great, man. You had, great time in junior high. But take me back to the high school years, man. Kennedy Catholic. Most people don't know is that you were the one that was like the most slept on. You were the one that nobody really thought was going to turn out to be the phenomenal player that you were. Yeah. So how did it feel to be the underdog going into high school?
Well, my 8th grade year, when we were deciding to what high school I would go to, the two main schools originally were Canfield.
Yes.
And Ursuline.
So glad you didn't go to Canfield.
I am too.
So glad.
Man, I dodged the bullet on that one. But those were the top two schools at the time. And Canfield told my dad and my mom that I wouldn't play varsity until probably my sophomore year. And as a sophomore, I would still only dress. I wouldn't really get very many minutes because they were really big on playing upperclassmen.
Yeah.
So that was something that we didn't really appreciate. And I took it as disrespectful.
Yes.
Because in the summertime, like I said, as an 8th grader, I'm playing against all of their varsity guys.
And giving them the business, I might add.
Yeah, by far I'm the best guard that they have. Even if it's not scoring-wise, just the best point guard that they had at that time. And they weren't going to show me any love. So we decided that we weren't going to go to that school. Ursuline. We were really leaning towards them because Lance was there for his senior year, so it would have been awesome to play with him as a freshman. But they had already had an established guard core that was there, and they were already young too. Nick McCartney was one of the main ones. He was a sophomore at the time, so him already being there and establishing himself, it was going to be hard to just break into that. Because they had already had so much chemistry from the year before, and just loaded at the guard spot. So Kennedy Catholic came in, they reached out to us, and it was a blessing in disguise, man. I'm glad that I actually made that decision to go there, even though it was tough driving 30 minutes every day.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing, I used to work out before school.
You sure did. Most people forget that. Dude, you were a workhorse, man.
Yeah.
You would get there before school.
I would work out at probably 5:30. I'd get up at 5, and then we'd get to the gym probably about 6. I'd work out from 6 to 7:15, and then take a little nap and then go to school. But everything was right there, man. So that's just another sacrifice right there that a lot of people don't know that I did, and I'm grateful for my dad because he was always the one that would wake up and take me there before he went to work. So it was definitely sacrifices on both ends, on both of our parts, and I'm grateful for it.
When you mention you're grateful for it, and Kennedy Catholic experience worked out phenomenal for you.
Yeah.
You would ultimately become the school's all-time leading scorer, and then you were Mercer County's all-time leading scorer until somebody just recently broke it.
Yep.
What do you think was your favorite game playing for Kennedy Catholic?
Ooh.
Anytime you dropped a lot of 30-point games. You know what I'm saying? you banged on a lot of people.
Yeah.
I was there when you torched Ursuline, which, by the way, they had it coming. But I seen it happen. So out of all of that, which one do you think was your favorite moment being there?
Anytime I came back home to play, I made sure that I put on the show. Just because, you play so far, even though it's 30 minutes, a lot of people that grew up watching you, they just kind of forget, out of sight, out of mind type thing, and it's nothing like that. They were trying to disrespect me or anything like that. I just wasn't around in the city playing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't know what I was doing. So anytime I had the opportunity to come back and play against schools around here, I made sure that I put on a show for the city to see, and so they didn't get anything confused.
Yeah.
That I was still top dog even though I wasn't here.
You were still top dog. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so my favorite game back home was against Mooney. Played against Randall and Carrington.
Dropped 50 that night, right?
48.
In my book, we were up to 50.
Yeah, and I was mad because I missed 3 free throws or 4 free throws or something, so I should have had 50. But what was funny about that game was warm-up line. We're going through layups and everything, and I see Randall at half court, dap him up at half court, you know what I'm saying? And Randall didn't like his situation at Mooney at the time. He wasn't playing a lot. So he brought me in, he whispered in my ear, and he was like, "You're not gonna go for 50 tonight." And as soon as he said that, it was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, I'll handle it for you. Don't worry about it." So it was like from jump ball, it was my mission that game to go get 50.
And to my knowledge of that game, I don't think you even came out.
No,
I think you played the entire game.
Yeah. And I mean, it worked out because it actually ended up being a close game back and forth, win the overtime, I think. But yeah, that game I made sure that it was that I was gonna get him that 50 ball for him. So Randall, shout out to you. We still talk about that to this day, man.
Man, I remember
it's his fault.
I remember about that game. I think Carrington had picked up 2 quick fouls because he was.
Yeah, Carrington was overhyped, man. Carrington was overhyped for the matchup,
And like his coach Jenkins was like, "KG, calm down." He was like, "Why am I coming out? I know what he's about to do."
Yeah, he was a little overhyped, but I mean that's what happens. You play against your boys. You want to go out there and you get geeked. You want to compete, and you've been playing against somebody your whole life, and so I mean I get it, and it was. I loved every minute of it. That competitive nature, that fire that Carrington brought, it made the game that much more fun. Just being out there with them, and even when Randall came in, it made it fun. I knew a couple other players that they had, so just going against some guys that I knew, made it that much more competitive and fun. And definitely was talking a lot of trash to Carrington after that second foul. That's for sure.
Man, I remember when you played Ursuline, your junior and your senior year.
Yeah.
And the ironic thing about that is your senior year, you almost transferred from Kennedy Catholic to go to Ursuline. But because of how a lot of things were handled behind the scenes, we obviously know that deal fell through.
Yeah.
But I remember your junior year, you dropped like 35 against them.
Yeah.
Then your senior year was the one where it was like you seen Jordan at point guard that night because you were just unstoppable, man. Take me back through those moments.
Junior year, Ursuline, that was, I want to say that was one of my first times coming back to the city to play in high school.
Yeah.
And so I definitely wanted to come out and make sure that I put on a show, but more importantly, I wanted to make sure that my team stayed competitive. A lot of the times we would play against inner city teams or more athletic teams, and we would get off in slow starts. So I just took it upon myself to kind of get us off and get us rolling early.
Yeah.
So my team could just follow suit and join in and feel a little more comfortable throughout the game. And we lost my junior year. So that left a sour taste in my mouth. So coming back senior year, I approached it a little different in terms of being aggressive to score.
Yeah.
Because my junior year, I tried to come out scoring and firing right away, and it didn't work out. So senior year, I kind of just took the point guard role, and my boy Dre, rest in peace, he had a great game. Almost had a quadruple double or close to it or whatever. So he had a great game. So just being able to feed him and watch him have the success that he had in that game, and it was just fun to watch and be a part of it. And then there was like a little scuffle or altercation that game too. People getting.
I remember Rocky got into it with Biggs.
Yeah. Rocky and Biggs got into it. So I mean, that game definitely had some fire to it.
The part I remember the most is how, and I think I was like 13 at this time, and I just wanted to see you hit the elbow jump shot like you always would. And of course, I studied you, the in and out crossover pull up, and I never talked about this publicly, but you're the reason why I started to do that. You and Kyrie Gregory. Y'all the reasons why I wanted to have a good pull-up jumper or in and out crossover because, we're obviously not the biggest guys, so you're not going to come into the lane dunking on cats, so you better learn how to be effective.
Yeah.
So that's why I tried to, do that, and then to see you do that, man, perfect it was amazing. But my favorite game of you was probably not only Ursuline, but your state championship game your senior year.
Yeah, that was a good game, just in terms of the fact that was my first time ever playing in a state finals game. We had always made it to the Final Four, and lost in that game, and never made it to the championship. So for it to happen my senior year was a blessing, and it was definitely a result of all the hard work that I had put in over the course of 4 years.
Yeah.
And so it was definitely just a great opportunity to go out there and for us as a team to get back to that. I mean, Kennedy has had a long history of competing in state finals.
Yeah.
So being able to get back and be a part of a team that went competed in the finals is definitely something that I take a lot of pride in, even though we lost. But we played against a really good team.
Very good team. John Johnson, man.
Yeah, and that was the first year that they had allowed inner city Philadelphia schools to play in the PIAA state championship. So if it wasn't for that, who knows, we could have had a championship. But we ended up running against a really, really good Philadelphia inner city team that had a bunch of D1 guys, and we only had myself. And I think maybe 2 other people went and played basketball after that.
Yeah.
So I mean, we were outmanned, but we competed.
And we're just a few possessions away from actually
regrets,
winning.
man. We were up at halftime, and then they turned it up as they should have, and we just ran out of gas. Really, that's really all it was. If I would have had 4 more minutes, I would have single-handedly won that game.
And then, not to mention, first couple possessions in the second half, you actually rolled your ankle.
Yeah.
You actually rolled your ankle, so that kind of,
it slowed me down a little bit. Yeah, but like I said, man, all I was hoping for was if I would have had 3-4 more minutes.
Yeah,
it would have been.
Well, you definitely got those minutes going to college, man. You went to Greensboro your first 3 years, didn't really plan out the way that you hoped. You transferred to Central Michigan, and you just blew up. You had so many amazing moments there. My favorite moment of you there was the night when you went 13 for 13.
From free throw line?
On free throw line, I think you had like a 28 for the entire game total.
Yeah.
So, man, what made you decide to leave Greensboro and go to Central Michigan?
Well, Greensboro started out as the perfect school for me. They wanted me there. They put a lot of trust in me to kind of elevate and take their program to the next level. They put a lot of responsibility on me as a freshman, and that's what I wanted going into college. So it was the perfect situation. but like the normal college scene, coaches leave.
Yeah.
We didn't have a good record my first 2 years and the beginning of my third year. So, I mean, it was only a matter of time before the coach got the boot. And the coach that I got fired was the coach that recruited me.
Yeah.
And he was my guy. We were close. So when I got word that he was getting let go was when the transfer talks had started. But I figured that I would at least see it out, see it through my junior year, because you never know, a new coach comes in, or the new coach that they had hired, Wes Miller now, who's done tremendous down there. And I have no bad blood with him or anything like that. But just the fact that we didn't see eye to eye on my role on the team, he didn't think that I was the best point guard for the team that he wanted. That because of my aggressiveness, though.
Like you were a very aggressive kind of point guard. Yeah. So some coaches want the old school traditional, and some players that's just not them.
And that's the route that he wanted to take. He wanted more of a pass first point guard, because we did have scorers on the wing.
Yeah.
That could score. So he wanted somebody that can play alongside with them, and I felt that the best way to play alongside with them was to remain aggressive and score and just add another scoring punch to that mix. And he didn't see it that way. So, I mean, we just made a decision to go our separate ways. It wasn't anything like that big of a deal. I mean, it was tough leaving because, like I said, the school itself was the perfect school. Outside of basketball, I loved it. I met my wife there, met some of my closest friends there, guys that were in my wedding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the school itself was perfect, still is perfect. I still would love to, we talk about going to move back to Greensboro all the time, me and my wife do. So, I mean, we loved it there. We loved the people there. Just from a basketball standpoint, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
For a full 4 years, which is fine because I had a great 2.5 or 2.25, whatever it was. And it worked out because I went to Central Michigan and played up there and played well, played a different role, position. I was off the ball a lot more up there. So playing with the point guard that could get me the ball kind of changed my game a little bit, and I got to score a lot more and be more aggressive, and it just took off from there.
Taking off from there, you enter your name in the draft, and then you get picked up by the Kings for the Summer League. Take me back to the Summer League experience.
Yeah, Summer League was fun. It was a wake-up call, that's for sure. Up until that point, I had always been one of the best players. And then so going into Summer League, you go in with that mindset, absolutely, but it's a reality check when you get there because you're no longer the best. You're a part of the best, but you're no longer like
the best.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so making that adjustment and trying to figure out which style you want to play, because at this point it's a business.
Yeah.
You're trying to get into the NBA and reach a dream and a goal that you've set your whole life, but you've never been there. You don't know how to attack it. So I don't know if I want to be my same aggressive point guard that I've always been, or be a true point guard because of my size, or what have you. And at the time that I came in as a rookie, the NBA was kind of in that transition of they didn't know if they wanted small guards to be scorers, or if they didn't know that they wanted point guards to be big time scorers or not. And so I tried to come in and be somebody that I wasn't, and be just a pass first only point guard. Didn't look to score, didn't look to do anything, and I think that hurt me. Especially when I played my rookie year in the D-League.
Yeah.
Just not knowing how to map that out. And mentally, I didn't handle things the right way. So it was a learning experience for me my rookie year. And ended up making some bad decisions on where to go play after that. That hurt me. But we're back on track now.
Absolutely.
Going back to the G-League for my second consecutive year. This season, my mindset is a lot different. I kind of got back to how I approached the game when I was in high school and college. Just kind of going out there and be myself. Don't want to change anything and try to fit the mold of what somebody else tries to seize for me. So just be myself and go out there and play hard. And I'm looking forward to this season. I think this season is going to be my best one yet. And I'm looking forward to it. And I've put a lot of work in this off season, mentally and physically, to get prepared for it. And I think I'm in the best spot that I've been going into a professional season. So.
Mentally, do you feel this will be your best year?
Mentally, yeah, for sure. A lot changes, man, when you go through some obstacles that you didn't expect, and your route isn't what you envisioned at first. You kind of just have no choice but to grow up mentally and mature a little bit. So that's what happened to me I had to go through some bad coaches who, they say coaches should never take your confidence away and stuff like that, but I went through a period of that as a professional basketball player just because a lot of coaches were trying to make me into a player that I wasn't, a player that didn't look to score, a player that was only pass first. So that kind of set my game back a little bit. But in the place that I am now, mentally, there's really nothing that you can do or tell me that's going to change the way I approach the game now. Things are a lot different for me. I have a lot more that I'm playing for. I just got married this summer.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. So just being able to do that, take that step forward in my life, and add another person that I'm responsible for. Yeah. And so that just adds a whole new level of intensity to what I'm doing, new level of focus.
Right.
So, yeah, it's going to be a different season, that's for sure.
Not only do you do it for your wife, but you also have the brand All For Him. Yeah. How did that come about?
All For Him was something that I leaned on and created when I was in one of those sunken places. Yeah. I originally came up with the concept in 2014. And it was literally just something personal for me, as something just to remind myself of why I do it. Because, you get into this lifestyle, this professional lifestyle, this business, you lose sight and lose track of some things because of everything is so fast paced. Yeah. You meet so many different people and you're exposed to so many different things that you had never been exposed to. You kind of lose sight of some of your priorities and some of your foundation. And so I did, and I was in a low place, basketball-wise, mentally-wise. So All For Him was something that just kind of brought me out of that, and it was personal. And then after a while, I figured out that it shouldn't just be for me. Yeah. It should be something that all athletes should have access to, and if they're doing it already, why not make a group for them to all talk about it collectively? And that's what it originally was supposed to be, was just kind of an outlet for athletes that play for Christ, and just to be able to network and talk amongst each other and tell each other about their experiences and what they're going through and kind of help each other out. And then it just kind of blossomed into a brand. So where I'm putting it on clothes. It did, yeah.
So you didn't originally want it to be a brand?
Never even thought about it having anything to do with clothes. It just kind of grew and blossomed into that. With the way that society has gone today, where people just put everything on a shirt. Yeah. And people put everything on clothes.
I wish they wouldn't do it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because some ideas don't work, some ideas do.
I got friends now that try to do something. I'm like, why?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it just depends on the idea. And so I started talking to people in my circle about it, and they thought that it was a good idea to run with it and make it and turn it into a brand. So we went down that path and started that process, and now I have my own clothing line called All For Him, and we've been putting out some stuff. It's taking a break because of the wedding and everything like that.
And stuff then, that I've been having the season getting ready to start up as well.
So it's not going to kick off as fast as we'd like, but we did have a good run in the summer. We released 2 designs. People were really into it, and so we're going to re-release the first one here soon, which is very popular. A lot of people like that and keep on asking me. They still ask me about that design, the God Family basketball one. Yeah. So we're going to put that back out soon, just trying to get settled into Delaware for the new season and kind of get my feet down and settled in. So once that happens, we'll release some new stuff and we'll get it back rolling again.
Getting everything back rolling again is something that you all, as a family in general, have had to adapt to over the course of the years.
Absolutely.
With Craig transferring, parents moving away to you doing your own, thing. Yeah. Now, I asked Craig this question the last time I sat down with him. In high school, he was a dog and you were a dog. Yeah. But who was the better one out of you two in high school?
Are we taking high school Craig
not the Craig now.
Taking high school Craig
versus Kyle high school.
I win hands down.
You went hands down?
Yeah. Craig was a hothead. And what I did in high school really well was I would get under people's skin.
And you didn't even say a word.
Well, because you didn't think I did.
I watched you. But I didn't see you say that.
That's what I'm saying.
I can speak for like me. I didn't see it.
You weren't supposed to. That's how it's supposed to be. But if you were actually out there with me, you would know, and especially in high school, I was probably one of the biggest trash talkers there was.
Now that's a shark, because I really did not.
Well, because I wasn't loud with mine. I never was loud with mine. I've never been loud with anything I do. Everything has always been discreet and kind of out of sight because I don't want that perception of me to be, he's a hothead or he's this, he's that. I don't want you to know what I'm doing. Just watch me play. Whatever happens, happens, and you enjoy the show. But yeah, I'm talking, and and that's just competitive. I mean, where we grew up, that's part of the game.
Oh yeah.
So if I would have been playing Craig in high school, he would have been very, very upset, trying to force the issue, because he's so competitive and so emotional.
Oh yeah.
Especially back then.
Man,
I would have within the first 2 minutes I would have drew 2 fouls on him and told him there's nothing you can do. And Craig would have came down, tried to shoot 3 threes or something like that to get back at it, miss him. I'm talking then, and then now it's over. He's done. I got 15 points, 10 of them at the free throw line. Craig got probably 1 3, and then it's over at that point. He's gonna shut down.
I wish I could see that.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately we can never go back.
Yeah,
so I mean, this is all obviously my side's a little biased. Craig would probably say something different, but
oh yeah. The thing is, I think Lance could outshoot the both of y'all though. That's the crazy part.
Talking about in high school,
shooting 3-ball wise, yeah.
But probably could. That's what Lance
was
did.
A shooter, defender.
Yeah, Lance was the prototypical 3-and-D guy in high school.
Yeah. So and could crash the glass too. Yeah. If need be.
But he fit a role very, very well in high school, and when he got to Ursuline was his breakout year, and that role that he had played for them was very big because he had a lot of big games for them.
Sure did.
Shooting wise, when they took DeAndre out the game or took JJ out the game, Lance kind of stepped up and was that guy, and he had an underrated mid-range game. So you would overplay the three, and he can get to that 1 or 2 dribble pull up at the elbow or in the wing, and it's still cash. So he definitely fit that role, that 3-and-D role back then.
Man, it's amazing when you can really just sit down and just chop it up. Yeah. And man, this has been phenomenal. Before we head out of here, man, first of all, what can we expect from you this year?
This year, you can expect, if you followed me up to this point, you can expect the old Kyle Randall, the high school college.
The K Mike.
Yeah, the K Mike is coming back.
See, only the real ones know about that nickname. Only the real ones know about it.
Yeah. K Mike is coming back out, man. I'm excited about this season. It's crazy. Literally, mentally, I'm in a crazy, crazy good spot. A lot of it coming from the wedding and getting married, taking that big step, man. You don't think that it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to you about experience now, because you got to go through this soon.
Yeah. I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be the best. It's the best decision you ever made in your life.
Yeah.
It'll be the best day that you have in your life. Being able to commit to somebody for the rest of your life, somebody that you love, your best friend, is something different about that. And when you're dating, it's cool.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend and girlfriend, or you're engaged, that's perfectly fine. But when you get married, man, I'm telling you, you don't think that it's gonna change anything or it's gonna feel different, but it really, really does.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be happier with my decision and who I married. Rand she's been with me through everything.
Right.
Thick and thin, highs and lows, never wavered, never left. Even when I was doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing, or not being the best boyfriend, or not being the best fiance, whatever, she never left. So I owe her more than she knows.
Right.
And being able to commit and speak in front of everybody that I will take care of her for the rest of my life, it does something to you differently mentally as a man when you have a wife.
It does. And
so,
I've heard that from several people.
Yeah, so just from that standpoint alone, my season will be different. And that's not even counting into the work that I put in or the growth that I've had mentally. This is just purely off of marriage. You're not gonna take my money away from me.
Yeah.
Because I need this for my family to eat now. You know what I mean? So mentally, it's different ball game. This season's gonna be crazy and unbelievable. I can't wait for it. I really do have high expectations for this season. There's a lot. I actually have a pretty good buzz right now too, throughout the league, because I had a good season last year.
Yeah.
Just getting back onto the scene, because a lot of people forgot about me because I hadn't been in the G League and haven't really been involved in NBA stuff in a while, because I played in Serbia and stuff like that. So getting back into it last year just kind of got my name back on the radar, got my name back in front of people's face, and so had a pretty decent year, especially towards the end. Played really well with Delaware, and them bringing me back shows that. and I'm very grateful to them for doing that. And I'm really, really excited for this season. It's gonna be an epic one, that's for sure.
How can people stay connected to you?
Instagram, follow me on Instagram, KRandy12. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter, KRandy_12 on Twitter. If you want to follow me throughout the season, all of our games will be streamed either through Twitch or on Facebook Live. Some games will be televised on NBA TV. I usually post a schedule or game time, game days on my social media, so just follow me on there. You'll be able to find it and watch me play. Thanks for all the support up to this point. I appreciate it. Continue to follow me and send prayers my way. And yeah, that's how you can follow me.
Nothing else needs to be asked. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Randall, appreciate you, bro.
Hey, no doubt. Anytime.